feel like there's a slackness with guys.
Okay, say more.
Like for me, in the sense of, okay, say I've met someone, swap details, done all of that. Say he messages, oh, so you know, when can I see you? You give the dates now, and he's just more in the sense of, so, what do you want to do then? Or like he just faffs. They're not very decisive.
Okay.
Like they don't make the right moves, or they just faff around a lot. It's like, just make a decision, tell me when and where. Like, you've got my time and availability, but there's just all this dancing around.
Right. So like, you feel like guys don't, not many guys like make a plan.
Yeah.
Right.
Literally.
Have you ever offered like, oh, why don't we go do this?
But you asked me out.
That's true.
Why should I then make the arrangements? Like,
well, I guess, do you want to see him? Would be my question.
that's the point. Sometimes, I guess the odd time it might be like, okay, so when am I seeing you? But then,
It's a good line.
you know, I think that's probably the response then. If they're really still taking too much time, they're clearly not interested, I guess. Or
Yeah.
he's like, pretty much.
Well, it could be a thing of like, you know, the priority isn't there. So, you know, there's this thing where, you know, when I say there's a difference between a guy wanting you and choosing you. And a guy can want you, but choosing you comes from the actions that he makes, the intentions, etc.
Right.
But I think there's a little bit of a caveat with, I think, you know, while obviously equality is paramount, I think guys are like, they feel that they can take a back seat because women are doing things and achieving things and going after what they want, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I think, you know, and the reason I bring this up is because the same maybe woman who is like successful, independent, goes after what she wants. It seems when it comes to men, she's like the most passive person. And it kind of feels like a bit of cognitive dissonance.
Okay.
What do you think?
I don't know. See, for me, I'm quite traditional in that sense. Like,
Yeah.
as in, I feel like the man should make the moves, and obviously you're meant to be the hunters, I guess, as they call it.
Yeah.
So go for what you want. But I feel like social media also has a big part to play in the dating game these days.
Very true.
I feel like that has messed it up for everyone, and that's the realist. Like, literally, guys are scared to talk to girls now. Even if they see someone, they might not want to approach you. Like, I've had female friends say to me, one guy was looking at my friend and he kept staring. So she like literally gave him the eye, like to give him, you know, come and talk to me. And he literally didn't. So the friend went over to him and was like, you know, my friend likes you. Like, why don't you come and talk to her? You've obviously been looking at her all night. And he was just like, oh, I just didn't know if I should go up to her or not. And like, be confident. Like, not everyone is here. Like,
Why can't women go up to men they like?
Oh, I don't know if I could do that.
Why not?
I would just feel some type of way. Like,
But don't you think guys feel a type of way when they have to put themselves out there?
I know, but that's just not my thing. I just could not do it.
Why not?
Like I said, I'm old school. I can't.
So I'm going to challenge you, right?
Oh, here we go.
I'm going to challenge you because you say that you're traditional in that sense.
In certain aspects, with certain things.
So, because the argument I hear from guys, right, and this is why we have this conversation, is it's like sometimes a woman will say that she's traditional in the ways that benefit her.
I knew this was coming. Go ahead.
So, for example, like, I wouldn't be like strong and independent, which is cool.
Yeah.
But then she goes out on a date and she expects him to pay because she's traditional in that sense. And it's like, well, how traditional are you?
Can't have your cake and eat it too.
No, you can't. Like, if you're... So, for example, I'm just saying back in the day. I'm not saying this is how it should be,
I know
right?
what's coming.
But if we're talking traditional, a guy pays for everything,
Yeah.
puts his life in the line for his woman, which I believe is the right thing to do. There came certain things that she would have to do for him.
Cook, clean.
If we're saying traditional, and that's not saying you have to be that way, but then if you say you're traditional, like, there are other things that come with that. Like, there's the give and take. There's the give and receive, right?
Yeah.
So you can't be like, oh, I receive in a traditional way, but I'm only going to give in a contemporary way.
I was going to say the same about guys, because I feel like guys say they want a submissive woman or traditional, but again, when it benefits them. So the guys that are stating that they want a woman to cook for me, I want my hot meals every day. Okay, but say, like you said, nowadays, you're both going out and working. So she's expected to still come home and do the cooking and cleaning. Okay, well, back in the day, the women didn't work. So if you want me to sit at home and do all of that, then you need to take care of everything. Because I feel like a lot of guys now that are wanting these things, again, it's for when it benefits them.
I think that's a fair point. Like, so if we take that, for example, like, so I was saying home domestics duties, right? So I agree. If, for example, they are sharing equal, let's say bills, right? Like rent or mortgage, everything like that. If it's equal 50-50, then yeah, I think it is definitely unreasonable for him to be like, okay, I'm never going to cook. That's her job at the house. That's completely unreasonable. Yeah. But I will ask you, what if he takes care of, let's say, 80% of the bills, but you both still work? What would you then say?
I'll say we work together to do whatever needs to get done in the house.
I mean, yeah.
If I'm home from work before you, then obviously I will get everything ready. If you've been at home all day, or you're, you know, obviously I'd expect stuff to be done, not me going to work and come home and still having to do it because I'm the woman or whatever reason. I just feel like no relationship is ever fully 50-50 all % of the time.
I agree.
There might be certain times it's 70-30. Maybe there's a certain time in life you're making more money than me and I might have to cover certain things, or vice versa. There may be times I'm not having a great time financially or whatever, and then you're taking, you know, I feel like it's never 50-50 all the way.
I agree. You know, I mean, like I'd even say for me, I'm quite a liberal minded in that sense. But like even then, like, you know, with an ex-girlfriend of mine, like I probably cooked 40% of the time. Yeah. And she would cook 60% of the time. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I agree, it's a teamwork. I think it's like who's going to take responsibility for more things, right? In what parts of the relationship. Okay. And I think I agree. If a guy's like, yeah, she has to pay for half the stuff and be doing the most, I think that's an unreasonable ask.
Pow.